Hey guys, welcome to my new video. In this video you are going to be learning how to extract a zip file and how to make a zip file from a file or a folder. So that's what we're going to be learning today. But before we continue, guys, please do subscribe to my channel. It is very important. Do subscribe to my channel. I will appreciate that. Okay, thank you so much for doing that. Without further ado, let's dive to the code. So here I'm going to I'm going to check if my server has zip installation already, if it has the zip module. So I'm going to check if zip is loaded. Okay, so now here we're going to check if this extension is loaded, which is zip. So if it's not loaded, we're going to make a notice and destroy the connection by saying zip extension is not loaded. So else echo zip extension is loaded. So let's go to our Google Chrome, then go to my path, refresh. As you can see, it says zip extension is loaded. Awesome. So I'm going to take out this else statement, and here I'm going to make a zip. So make a zip file. So here we're going to have variable zip with our new archive, and we're going to add some file to test.zip, which is going to be the name of our zip. So this can be anything. You can have it as a dynamic data. So here I can decide to pass some or just simple zip. So you can decide to pass in any name you want, and this zip archive create is going to begin a process to do that. So here we're going to add files, add file to zip. So what file are we adding? So let me create a new file here, which is example.txt. I think this is good. So here we're going to have a lorem. Oh, I don't know if lorem work from here. Oh, it doesn't work. So let me just make a lorem here, so I can copy it and paste it there. So copy my lorem and take it down to the txt, save it and go back to this place, and here is going to add a file. We had this file simple example.txt. So now here we added example.txt as a file, and here we want to close the zip connection. So now by running this code that we have here, it's going to automatically create the zip, because the zip extension is already loaded. So I'm going to click on save and just watch this directory. Once I refresh my browser, it's going to run this, and as you can see, the zip is created. So this is the zip here. So let me go to my finder, double click on the zip, and you're going to see what example.txt. So let me open this file. As you can see, this is the file here. So it is working perfectly. So the next one I'm going to do is a folder. So let's zip a folder. So move this to bin for now. So I'm going to create a new folder called sample. So under this sample folder, I'm going to create a new file called let's just call this code.php. Then within this place we have some PHP code, which is going to be echo. Sorry about that. It's going to be echo hello. So we have the hello word here. So click on save, and this is going to save. So let's go back to the index where we create this file. So over here now we are going to change the add file format to add glob. So it's not going to be a file anymore. So it's going to be add glob property. So the glob is going to target everything we have inside this folder. So instead of add a file, we are going to make it add a folder. Sorry, okay, let me just comment this part so that you have it as a reference. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is to create a zip file for the folder we have, which is sample. So this is going to be sample zip as the name. So here we have add folder to zip. Okay, so we add folder sample to zip, that is everything inside this folder. we want to add it to zip. So if I click on save and go to my browser, we should have zip created, and if I go back to my code, we have the zip. So let me open the zip from my htdoc. So I'm going to delete this existing zip that I already have. So let me delete this, double click on it, and we have what? Sample. Can you see? Everything is working fine. Awesome. So now the next thing we are going to look into is to create another folder inside this sample. So here is going to be another, then inside the another we're going to have a file which is the index.php. Inside another we'll create another 2. Inside another 2 we have well.php. Okay, so now we have folder in folder in folder, which is recursive by default. Okay, so that is a recursive file that we want to put into a zip, because this is a lot. As you can see, we have about 3 folder. Okay, so to make this work, so this will only work for a single folder. Okay, this will only work for a single folder. Let me comment the entire part so that you understand it. So let me close this area a bit. Oh, sorry, zoom out a bit. Okay, so to get started with that kind of format, what you're going to do is, for here we're going to have add multiple folders to zip exactly, which includes subfolders. So the first thing you need to declare is your directory name, which is very important. So the directory name that we are using is sample. Can you see? As you can see, this folder here, which is this directory, it is sample. So make sure it is valid. Okay, so now the directory that we want to zip is sample. Awesome. Then we need the real part name. So the real part name is this. So with real part, you are going to determine where the directory is actually coming from. So let me show you everything. I'm going to first echo this so that you understand this very well. So let me comment this. Okay, just leave that part, it does not mean anything. So let me echo this real part so that you understand it clearly. So I will refresh. As you can see, this is the real part. It targets where this file or where this folder is coming from. This is the folder here. So let me take out this one. It's conflicting. Control S, refresh. Can you see this is the real part itself, which is this real part function. So the real part is going to return the part of the folder where it's coming, the main area it's coming from, which is very important for the zip to work perfectly. So after getting the real part, the next thing is to make a recursive. So we need to initialize recursive. So instance of recursive, which is very important. We are going to make an instance of recursive. Okay, so we are going to make the instance now by passing the recursive iterator and also get the recursive directory by passing it as a constructor. So recursive directory iterator, then passing the real parts. Then after the part has been passed, then we need to also pass the recursive iterator as leaf only. So leaves only will help us list. It's going to list only leaves in the iterator. Okay, in the iteration rather. Okay, so now let me close this my class, which is the recursive iterator. So we closed it by using the normal syntax we all used to. Then the next thing we are going to do now is to loop through. We need to loop through the files for us to do that. So after doing that, we are going to loop through the iterator, because everything is going to become an array, because we are getting the real part and making a recursive of the directory and the files. Okay, so after making an iteration, after looping through the iterator, we get the key and we get the value. So what is the key what is the value. So first we need to understand that. So let's comment this and the key that we have here. Let us dump it. So pre-dump is what I'm going to use. Then we pass the key and we also pass the value. So save it so that we understand what we are doing in depth. Okay, so over here I'm going to refresh, and as you can see we have the first one, which is the key, as the file itself. As you can see, this is the file folder. Yes, this is the file folder, and the value is the object xpf file info, which is the file info that we are trying to get. This is the object. Okay, so just to show you how that works. Okay, so now after this has been passed, we are going to check if the value that is coming, that is the xpl file info, we're going to check if it's a directory. So if it is a directory, we don't have to do anything with the directory, because directory is useless without a file. If I have a directory that does not have a file, why should I zip it? So I will better just skip it off and move on to the next one. But if you want to enable directory, you can comment this and continue. But in my own case, I don't need it. I don't need a directory that doesn't have any file. So if it's a directory, skip. If it's a directory, skip it and move on to the next one. But else, if it's a file that is readable, then let's proceed. Okay, so now that is what we're going to be doing here. So here now we have this the file parts. So here now we have the relative file parts, which is what we have here. But unfortunately, Copilot did not really get what I want to achieve very well here. So instead, I'm going to get the real file parts here. Real file parts, which is what I'm going to determine here. Then this is going to help me with the file get real parts. Can you see this is the file here? So let me just change to the file so that you understand it's and not a value. So here we have it as a file. So file is going to get the real parts. So getting the real parts is what is consigned to me. So after getting the real parts, echo it and let's see what we have in the real parts. So save, go to your browser and refresh. What do we have there? Can you see what we have there? We have the first one, code.php, and the second one, well.php. So we have this in folder. So the first folder we have the index.php, and the parent folder we have the code.php. So we have so many. So we have all these things listed up. As you can see, it is actually at the side area. Let me try to add break tag so that you see it clearly, so that it's not like I'm teaching you something that is not right. So let's check it again. We have the code.php, we have the index.php, awesome, and we have the well.php. And if we have an empty folder, I'm very sure this is not going to load empty folder. Let's just call this empty. So it is empty. Can you see it is not loading empty folder? So why should I zip empty folder when I don't need it? So then just delete it. I don't need it. Okay, so now we have our folder in folder, and the file is valid in those folders, because these are the folders. We have another two. Okay, so this shows that it's working perfectly. So the next thing we are going to do is to get our file name and break it from what we have in this section. So as you can see, what we have here, we need to make an what's it called, explode. We need to explode this part. You see this area, it has to be we need to explode it so that we can convert it again to something that is awesome. So let me show you that. So first we need to echo. Let me echo this this guy that we have here. Let's echo this real parts. Echo real parts. Let's see, what do we have? Can you see in our real parts we have this? Let me add break tag so that you see clearly. We have this as our real part, which is actually correct. This is it in our root directory. It's the real parts. Awesome. So after getting the real parts, what do we want to do with the real parts? We want to explode this real parts from the file, the real file part itself that is coming from this loop. We want to explode it because this is the real parts, and above here we have the file parts. Let me show you. Can you see? This is the real part, and here is the file part. So we explode this, then later join our directory to it, just to make it awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to take out this, and here we are going to have explode. We are going to explode our real parts, from real file parts. Okay, so what do we have after exploding that? Explode. So we are going to determine, let's use variable dump to do that, so that prevar, so that we see the details we are getting, so it will look like magic. Okay, save it and go to your browser, refresh. Sorry. Okay, so after exploding it, we have 0 as empty and the next one as code. So this is exactly what we have. Yeah, exactly what we have. Okay, so this is correct. So the next thing we need to do is to target the second layer, which is the 1, and not the 0. We need to target the second index, which is 1. So here is going to be the final. So let's just call final directory. So it's going to be explode and pick the end one. So we can actually pick the end one for me, but we'll just do it this way, just to make it traditional, so that you understand it clearly. So now we pick this guy. After picking this guy, then we are going to add directory name. We're going to add directory name to final directory. Exactly. So now final directory, now we now get this directory name, which is sample that we have as the parent. So final directory name is now getting from there, and we pass it to the final directory that we exploded as what we have here. So now we already have the /, so we don't need to pass / again. What we just need to do is to append the name, and it's going to do the job. Okay, so after this, then we're going to add the file to zip. Can you see? Add file to zip, and this is going to add the file to zip using this final directory. Awesome. So this is the real file part, and this is the final directory of our directory name that we just added. Okay, so if I click on save and refresh my code, we should have all this folder working. So let me refresh. Okay, actually we should have zip created, but I did not enable it. As you can see, it has been created already. So I'm going to go to this place and delete what we have here, move to bin. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to double click on this zip area, and as you can see, we have everything that we added. Awesome. So that is how this zip is. That is how this zip work. So now we have successfully created a zip file for single file for a single folder, and here now we have multiple folder. Awesome. So now I'm going to comment this to this place. So sorry about that. I'm going to comment it down here. Command. Let me comment it to this place so that we can do other tasks. Let's do another. Let's try to extract. Okay, awesome. So click on Ctrl S so that we have an empty area. So I'm going to upload this code to my website so that you can download it, because it's a lot. You can't just memorize everything at once. So I'm going to comment this. Let me also comment this so that we can extract zip. So the next thing we are going to do, let me comment this also. Here we're going to have extract zip file. So to extract the zip file, we are going to open we're going to use zip open. Meanwhile, we've closed. Okay, the zip is still open. Awesome. So we still have our zip archive opened. So here is just to create a zip, and here we are extracting the zip. So zip open. After that has been opened, then we extract to extracted. Awesome. I love this. So we are going to extract everything we have inside this zip, because we already have this folder. We don't want to pull it inside this folder, except you want to override the folder by deleting it before extracting a new file to it. So extract to extracted, awesome. And after that has been extracted, we close the operation. Awesome. So here we're going to have echo zip extracted. Cool. So if I click on save and go to my finder, as you can see, we don't have extracted folder at the moment. So I'm going to refresh zip file extracted. So as you can see, we have it under extracted. Awesome. So this is great. Can you see? It is all here, all true. That's great. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this current section. I promise to upload this code to my website so that you can download it. So guys, please do me a favor by subscribing to my channel. I will really appreciate that. Please subscribe to my channel to get an amazing content just like this, and I'm going to do my best to explain it. And if you have a future video, if you have a request, you can drop it in the comments below so that I can make a video on the topic. Okay guys, see you in the next one. Bye.